All right, guys.
12 straight team points, huge defensive rebound. What made Malik so special down the stretch for you guys?
He was aggressive. He's the only thing we had going. I think Devontae, I think fatigue kind of caught up with him today, and we didn't play very well offensively. We were awful offensively, but our first shot defense was decent, and Malik kind of carried us, and I didn't know this during the game. I knew they went on a big run, but somebody told me it was 17-0 run. Is that right that they went on? Was that not true?
No.
It must not have been. If you guys, because I know you
Okay.
guys keep track of everything, but it was a big run. Whatever they went on, maybe it was 17-2 or 17-4, but yeah, they dominated us during the stretch when we had no offense and no energy and played flat, and Malik just bailed us out.
But you always talk about holding serve at home, and you're down 6 with 3 minutes to go. What was your message at that point to the guys?
I don't know that we had a message, to be honest.
What did you?
No. I think that there was a timeout under 4 when we were down 4, and I want to say that they got a basket right there to go up 6, and so I don't know that I had a message, but Malik made a 3 earlier to cut it from 4 to 1. But I think we were down 6. Didn't he get an and 1 to cut it from 6 to 3? And then from that point forward, other than not being able to guard McComp, one-on-one, when we had a bad mismatch, I actually thought we defended pretty well, and of course they killed us on the glass again, but that's good. I hate to say that, that's going to keep happening until you get more competitive guys in there fighting, and we certainly did. We weren't very competitive on the glass at all today.
Scott said free throws. I mean, he said down the stretch you guys got there and they couldn't get there. Simple as that?
Yeah, they did get there. I mean, let's not be
sure.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, 21. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but not or if I'm not mistaken, he shot 7 free throws in a span of about 2 minutes.
Right. I think he was talking late.
Yeah. But in the last 3 minutes, they didn't get there, and we did. So we drove the ball downhill pretty good. And also, a lot of times, it's easier to get there when you're behind because you're going to drive it. And a lot of times when you're ahead, you don't drive it as much until very end of the clock.
I think you guys had 20 minutes of game time where Udoka was the only one to get a field goal for you guys. What did you see out of what Baylor was doing? Was it something more of what you guys were doing?
Baylor played, we were actually better against their zone than the man. And it's been that way against them more than once. But we were playing 4 against 5. I mean, I hate to say that, but LeGerald and Marcus didn't do anything offensively. Marcus tried to get in there and stuff, but he really did, miss some easy shots, and then really wasn't a factor. And then in a game like that where we got to play, we've been playing 4 guards all year long. You'd think a junior would be able to get in there and make a play or just force help or do something, and we were never able to do that. So it was ugly. It was ugly, and hopefully we can correct some things moving forward. But the way that we've been designed to play with 4 guards is to be aggressive and attack, and we had one guy out there that never put us in a position to put the defense on their heels, and I think that makes us easier to guard if just one guy's off a little bit.
Did you tell Svi early on to be aggressive, drive the ball, get to the rim, as opposed to electing first shot to?
No, I've always just told him to take what the defense gives him. Svi made an unbelievable dunk, but I'd rather him make the 3 layups. He missed one right after that. He missed an uncontested one right after that. And so we get excited because we get 2 points when it should have been 6. But I thought, Svi, I have a hard time getting on him. I think he tries so hard. But I didn't think we competed very hard with rebounds defensively at all today.
When LeComp took it to the hole with the game on the line, what was your vantage point of that play? Was it
he beat Devontae on that play. We finally got Devontae matched up on him, and he beat Devontae. And the whole deal with him is, you can't let him drive it in that slot with his right hand. And he drove it in the slot with his right hand. But fortunately, basketball, just like any sport, there's so much of it's luck involved. And if I remember right, Doak came and did a great job contesting. But when Doak left his man, obviously that opens up an offensive rebound. But the ball came off the front rather than going to the weak side. If it goes to the weak side, they may get a putback. So I thought that was a fortunate play for us, even though I do think Doak did a great job of coming over and protecting the rim.
That last minute of the first half, and you had your two bigs in. Talk about what went into that thought process.
Well, we're just going to try. We got to put them out there some, but that was about the most ineffective thing that I'd ever seen with that lineup in. So, Silvio, he didn't get anything done today, and of course he fouled 3 times in a couple of minutes, and what people don't understand, those 3 fouls are 6 points. They're free points. But it's not from lack of effort. He just didn't have a great day, and Mitch wasn't as effective today. And so we needed Doak to play a lot of minutes, and that's way too many minutes for Doak to play from a energy standpoint to keep his energy level high. But I don't know that there was any thought process or anything going into it, because we certainly didn't look very good playing 2 bigs.
As you said, Speed didn't really play well today, but take this game throw out the window. How has he played so well at home this year?
Well, when I say he didn't play well, he hadn't put up numbers like he's been putting up. But Steve's had a great year, and you can't expect him to make everything he looks at. But at home, if I'm not mistaken, he's shooting about 57, 58 from 3 at home. And so, I don't think that because he goes 1 for 4 tonight, we're going to push the panic button on that. But I think he's just become a much better, more complete basketball player.
Devontae tonight's game was for JoJo White. Would you, say that's the case?
That the game was dedicated.
Yeah, dedicated. All you know.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. But, if you've been around here a long time, you certainly respect tradition, and if you're going to respect tradition, you gotta know, love, and respect JoJo, and not only the type of player he was, but I mean he was an A+ individual. I mean, he had a great presence about him, and so positive and articulate and sharp, and you hear all the words that have been spoken about him have just been unbelievable. I think everybody would wish they had the same impact here at the time that they're here as what JoJo had, and so we didn't talk about dedicating anything to that, but certainly I know Devontae thinks about stuff like that.
Was today an emotional day for the team because of Billy, or was that last night, or what?
No, it was today. It was today. I knew, and when I say I mean staff, not players, knew that there was a chance that this could happen because of the deadline and everything that we've talked about with the family, and certainly them making the decision to go ahead and do the deal in Bosnia was not a surprise to us, because we'd known about the deal in Bosnia for 3 weeks. We were just hoping we could have closure to eliminate that outcome, but with the uncertainty of it, it didn't come as a shock to us. But the timing was obviously a little bit of shock, because I started getting texts this morning. I think it's 7 or 7:18 or something like that was the first one, and that's the first time that I positively know that was happening, even though we've known that was an option, and certainly I wasn't aware of that it would probably happen that soon, because I know that they felt pressure that they had to do something because of the deadline that was put on them by the team in Bosnia.
Are you disappointed you didn't get closure on that situation, particularly from the NCAA, before you made a decision?
Of course, disappointed. But with disappointment, I mean, I'm disappointed when we lose, or I was disappointed when we lost back when I played, and I go 0 for 10. Or 10 for 10. I mean, it was, which I never went 10 for 10, but I'd be disappointed. So I think the disappointment comes from us not having a finality to it, but disappointment doesn't come from them making a decision. He's handled this very well, and frustration obviously is a huge key to it, and with the family too. But when we've talked to him, and when I've talked to him, we laid out the options. What's best for Billy? Is it better off that he go overseas and play and make some money and be seen? Is it better off that he stay here with the unknown, that we don't know what the unknown is, and we certainly don't have the exact timetable? What's best for you guys' life? And the decision was made that we want to stay at Kansas, no question. We want to stay at Kansas. But we can't stay and not get anything out of it. I mean, think about a kid that talented not even playing this year. We knew that we knew it was getting to the end where they had to do something. And I was hoping, we were all hoping that the closure would come before they had to do something. But they said they were, frustration had set in and they were tired of waiting. So I totally understand that.
Do you, there's closure from his standpoint because he's gone now and he's going overseas. Do you feel like there's closure from a university standpoint? How's this going to proceed from here? Or is there any procedure from here?
Well, I can't answer that question, Danny, but it was an NCAA reinstatement matter, okay, where we had to get the information to the NCAA and they had to rule on it. And just to be real clear, so fans don't think that people are at fault. It was a situation in which it took some time to get the information to them in a final package, because if you get it to them and it's incomplete and they want more and more, it drags on longer and longer. So our people did a good job. I mean, put together, but even with that being said, that package wasn't delivered to them until right before Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas. So they didn't probably really get to it till after January 1. Fine. But then there were follow-up deal. We have more questions. We have more things. And we were hoping that there could be a resolution to it. And we thought that we were getting close, real close. But I think the team in Bosnia put pressure on Nicole and Billy to say, that's fine. But our deal's off the table. If this can't happen, and there may be legal reasons why it's off the table. I'm not for sure about how the contracts work over there, but so we knew all along that it could happen, and we have been told that, hey, we don't disagree with what you're saying. We're not saying we agree, but we are saying that we are not quite ready to make a final determination on it. So I don't blame anybody, to be honest with you. I just hate it. I hate it for him because he didn't get a chance to experience what college basketball is all about. And that's not just because he's at Kansas, but anywhere. And certainly, he's been a good teammate, and hopefully he'll go over there and kick butt and put himself in a position to be a higher draft pick because he went over there.
KU fans got glimpses of what Billy Preston could be during the exhibition season, but what are KU fans going to miss by not seeing him and live up to his potential regular season, postseason?
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, this is where it gets kind of tricky with me. There's a, although we didn't put the exact date on it, but isn't there a point in with everybody that, hey, if we can't have it by here, we're better off going with what we got, and the uncertainty every day about who's our team, practicing guys that we don't even know if they can play. And the good thing is, if there is a good thing, is that we know who we got. We know who we got. We know how we need to practice, those sorts of things. So from our standpoint, you could look at that as a positive, but what KU fans and what we missed out on was, even though he's not near where he's going to be, I mean, this young man has top 10, top 15 type talent. Now, whether or not he could play to that his freshman year, that remained to be seen, and nobody was ever able to figure it out. But there's no question that there's that type of talent.
Can the fans feel good that this is just, the whole thing is a Philly thing, not a university thing, not an Adidas thing, and that it's closed up from that standpoint?
I believe so, but I'm not. I don't know how the inner workings of the NCAA works on reinstatement cases. I don't understand that, but I do know that obviously, he didn't play, so there's not a situation with forfeiting games. If there's a problem, there's none of that. So if there is a positive of this situation, that I would think that it is, it's in the hands of the NCAA, and I gotta believe that they feel like that we've been totally upfront and presented all the information to them and that kind of stuff, to the point where they wouldn't look at us in a negative way whatsoever.
Coach, I talked to somebody on Tuesday who said, if they don't get the big kid, they're a little more beatable. They're a little more vulnerable. Do you think that's a fair statement, or do you think that here you are, first place?
Well, I think that everybody's been saying that since November the 10th, if we don't get the big kid, that we're more vulnerable. And I would have to agree with that. We are more vulnerable. We're playing with 4 little guards out there. Even our tall guards are don't play big. So we are vulnerable. But, you know, we also know how to win for the most part. We also compete pretty hard, and we got 2 unbelievable seniors, and we got a big guy down low that's hard to deal with if he gets it close to the basket. And I mean, there's a lot of things that a lot of teams would like to have about our team, but our margin for error is without question the smallest it's been probably since we've been here. But that doesn't mean we still can't win as many games, but it's going to be a lot of games like today. For us to win a lot of games, we're going to have to eke out some, and understand that's okay. It's acceptable to do that, because that's the way that we're going to have to get it done.
You feel like Tuesday's going to be one of those times where
I'd love to eke out one Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday will be a different game, obviously, because I don't know how you don't stop. I don't know if you corral. I got to watch today's game because I haven't seen their game. But what do you get? 34 in the second half. How do you get 48 in a college game?
Took 40 shots.
He took 39 shots.
39,
Yeah. So get your facts right. But the whole deal is that's what people don't understand. It's not that he took 40 shots, 39 shots. It's that he's good enough he can get 39. You know, that's the thing about Jordan that was so special, is he could get a shot anytime he wanted to. Even if he shot a low percentage, you knew how good he was because he could get it. So if a guy can get off that many shots and still yet impact every play from an assist standpoint or whatever, what happens when he does shoot 50% or 55% or whatever? I mean, you're looking at astronomical type numbers. So and 48 seems pretty astronomical to me. So, but he's not a one-man team, and they've got other guys that are good, and we got to figure out a game plan on how we try to slow them all down, not just focus in on one.
It's just 1 week, but if you look back at this week, I think Oklahoma lost twice, Texas Tech lost, some other teams lost, and you guys go down to West Virginia, win, and then get one here. How big was this stretch for you guys? I know it's just 2 games, but
no, it's a big stretch. Yeah, it's a big stretch. Anytime you win 2 games, regardless of how you do them, pretty ugly, and you could not say that either one of these wins were pretty by any stretch. But yeah, that's huge. It's huge to be able to do that. And it's too early in the season to wish for certain teams not to win. It's too early. You know, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, there's no question. If whoever's competing with us, 3, 4 teams or whatever, we always hope they lose. Even if they play each other, we hope they both lose. Okay? But that's in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Up until then, you know, you just got to understand, you know, somebody 3-3 or 4-3 right now could be sitting pretty good too.
Do you see a team who stands out above the rest?
Excuse me?
Do you see a team that stands out above the rest?
That stands out?
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what. Like I said, I bet he got all the girls when he was that accent. But I think that West Virginia, to me, is the team that at least right now, you could say Oklahoma Tech, you could say K-State's playing great. You could say those teams, but to me, you would think that West Virginia is a team that physically can wear people down over the course of an 18-game season because of their depth and their size.
all right, Coach.
Okay, guys, thanks.
Coach.